Pioneer's Western Washington distributors, and by your local Puget Sound Honda dealers, where the quality goes on and on.
Good afternoon. We welcome you to Husky Football. I'm Bruce King, along with Husky head football coach Don James. And if you missed it yesterday, oh, what a football game you missed. Washington defeated Michigan by a score of 20-11. It's becoming kind of an old hum. You beat Michigan 2 times in a row, 103,000 national television, and that has to go down, Don, as one of the great wins I think you've had while you're here, right?
Well, the non-conference road games have been few and far between. I think we went 5 or 6 years before we even got one. But anyone that goes into Michigan will have a tough time defeating them because of the crowd and the team and the coaches.
Offensively, Hugh Millen sort of came of age, I would think. He was, what, 13 and 16 in the ball game, 9 in a row at one time?
Well, I had not realized that at the time, but when I heard that, and it was interesting to note that even the first one was dropped. It was a perfect pass. So he had a good day. I think the experience from a week ago against Northwestern obviously helped. That's what we keep saying as coaches, you know, that we can bring them so far, then they will only improve now with experience.
Defensively, your team continues to hit, and the defensive scheme you used was a very interesting one.
Well, you know, you go in thinking that you need to get Michigan in a third and long once in a while, force them into predictable downs, and you're never quite sure. But some of our defenses that we had designed to play pass defense fortunately held up against the run, so that really helped us.
That crowd affect you at all? I mean, you quieted that crowd down in a hurry and really dominated that game.
The only time I heard the crowd was when Michigan came on the field at the beginning of the game and the halftime. Other than that, they didn't make a lot of noise.
They certainly did. You have to feel good, though. Your team can go into a place like that and win on national television.
Well, again, the circumstances, you know, the fact they were ranked number 2, they beat the defending champion the week before, and the fact that, you know, we're groping with some new starters, and we made a lot of improvement in the last 2 weeks, and so those are the things that we're happy about.
If you're a Husky fan, you missed it yesterday, you're going to enjoy today. And we'll be right back with the opening kickoff right after this. You and say, you know, you can receive the football if you like. Surprise you?
No, we were going to do the same thing. There was a win, but it was more of a kicker's win than a passer's win, so we got the ball, and it seemed to work out. But we would have deferred if we'd have won the toss.
Go to the left side. Jackson lost the yard on the first play. They came at you pretty hard.
Well, they looked real solid. Of course, they're a good defensive team, but it took us a little bit of time to get cranked up here. We do pick up 5 there. Maher, Hunt, and Robertson make good blocks.
3rd and 6 at the 24. Washington with the ball, first time in the game. Hugh Millen back to throw. He zips it pretty good, but it's dropped.
It's a good route, and it's a good pass to Danny Green, but Danny's not able to hold it. They were in a man underneath coverage.
So 4th and 6, going to have to kick it away.
This is it's a 49-yard punt, but we really have trouble with our punt coverage. The only thing that equalized that when the day was over is that we did get one key fumble recovered.
And they had a clipping penalty there, so it sets Michigan back all the way to their 20. That's White, the left side, for 5.
That's really a good support by the weak safety, Tim Peoples.
He had a great game, didn't he?
Jim Rogers, yes, sir. He was very aggressive.
2nd and 5 at the 25. That's an understatement, I think, for him. To the outside, here's White again. And it's Tim Peoples, number 26, coming in to make a stop again.
It's interesting that their 2 first plays were the exact same 2 first plays that we ran. Maybe we are a little similar.
People say that about you.
There's a toss sweep, and this is Reggie Rogers who's going to support this play pretty well.
Number 51, Reggie
Jimmy
Rogers.
There's Jimmy Rogers. There's Ron Holmes coming in and Joe Kukowski.
And Jimmy Rogers had a big game, too.
Yes.
Your safeties played very well. Perriman on a delay gets 5.
This is a draw play, and Perriman had a big day the week before against Miami. He scored 3 touchdowns. Tony Lewis makes the tackle.
3rd and 6 now at the 36. Harbaugh's pass going to be broken up by Rogers and a good defensive play.
Yeah, excellent pressure by Joe Kelly and also excellent coverage by Jim Rogers.
So Robbins is going to kick it away 64 yards, gets a great bounce. Just watch it go. I thought the ball was going to be down to about 15, and the 10 just kept going.
Yeah, he really kicked a lot shorter ball than we thought he would. You know, we thought he'd be able to carry it 45, 50 yards, and so we just had to keep getting Danny Green to move up. And we never did catch one.
For 2 up the middle. 2nd and 8 now at the 22. Washington ball for the 2nd time. This is just a great drive, but you don't know it right now.
No, not right now.
For -2.
So we're going to have a third down here, but we get exactly a 10-yard gain. It's a sprint out, and you can see it's zipped in there to Mark Patterson, and he goes out right at the marker.
Oh, you got a great mark on it too.
Yes.
You really did. So Washington 1st and 10 to keep the drive alive at the 31.
Good little cutback by Cookie Jackson. This again, what we're trying to get out of our offense is no losses, 3, 4, 5 yards crack, and This was an excellent play by Hugh. He got good pressure from the weak side. Doug Crow came back. He was a pulling guard and knocked the linebacker right there off of Hugh. Gave Hugh just enough time to zip the ball.
He threw it hard, too.
To Walt Hunt. It's very well done. That's one of the big plays of the day.
So a first down, 1st and 10 for Washington now at their 41. Cookie Jackson to the right side for 3.
We roll up in there pretty good behind. We got Gogan in there, and of course there's Al Robertson, Doug Crow, Tanner is his center.
2nd and 7, come right back to Cookie again, fights off some tacklers, and he gets 4.
It's a counter play, and Jones and Gogan had good blocks here. It just had an excellent double team. It knocked the tackle all the way down past the center.
3rd and 3. Now you throw to your fullback, Walt Hunt, and you did that a lot of. That was just open, wasn't it?
The play action passes to got our fullback out in the flat was probably one of our most consistent key play, possession play, because they were in a lot of man with their linebackers on our backs, and so when we fake to them, they've got to respect the run first. Then we'd slip the fullback out in the flat. So it was a big play for us because of their coverage primarily.
Cookie Jackson gets bumped just as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain.
And again, we had an excellent block out there, and one player that missed his block. So instead of a good play, we got.
That's Danny Green's only catch this year.
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of surprising.
In 2 games. That's right. Picks up 3 on the play. 3rd and 7 at the 42. Millen stands in and just zips the ball to Jones.
Rod was a little too close to the sideline for himself to get planted and get upfield, so we leave this a little bit short. It's short enough that we felt like we could gamble now. It was
4th and 1, you see.
Inches, yeah, we went with quarterback sneak.
And all you do is get the ball up to the marker there, and you did. So now it is 1st and 10 for Washington at the 35, and here comes Millen to the outside to the fullback, Rick Fenny. He had 2 catches in the game.
Yeah, that's a good play by Rick. And you break a tackle, and this is what he can do. He's capable of doing this. It's what we call a bootleg or waggle. Take the counter play, which we'd already run. We've got that set up. Slip the fullback out in the flat. They miss the tackle there, and
you can see his power.
Rick, they just don't get him down, which is what, again, with his size and strength, he's capable of doing that.
So 1st and 10 now at the 22. Cookie Jackson trying to get outside. And he gets 3.
And we're in 4-down territory now, so 3s will get it, although we would, I'd like to start with 4 or 5.
Michigan plays a run very well, but not this time. Here comes Cookie Jackson for 11.
It's one of the better plays. We just didn't get a lot of long runs, but Gogan and Crow and Green had good blocks. And it opened up good, so in this part of the field, as I've mentioned many times, 11-yard gain is pretty good. 1st and goal now at the 8. Cookie running to the outside. Ooh, he's hit hard. That was a hard hitting. 3 straight sweeps in a row, and we're trying to mix it up good, but you're penalized for holding. 10-yard penalty. It's really hard to see in our film. Was it? Millen to throw. It is complete. That's to Patterson for 4, but you still had the ball at the 14. It's going to be hard to make that up now. That's just when you get a 1st and 18, that's incredibly long yardage at this part of the field. So 3rd and goal now at the 14, and you go to Rod Jones. Pick up a little more, and that was the 19th play of the drive. It's an unbelievable drive. 14-yard play drive isn't a real long. 19-play drive. Jones going to be short of the 1st down markers, so on 4th and goal at the 7, you will see Chandler holding. Jaeger comes in and kicks a 25-yard field goal. And there was only 1:47 left to play in the half, and Washington leads Michigan by a score of 3-0. And I would think going into a football game like this, that's exactly what you wanted to do. I mean, get the football and just hold it for 9 minutes against a team like Michigan. Well, that's usually the thing they do to the opponents. Yeah. They with their ball control abilities, the running ability. And that's why it was good for us. Their offense doesn't score when they're on the bench. They certainly don't. But you had to feel good about that. And the way Hugh Millen comes out and hits 9 in a row, as we've said. Well, when you go into any game, especially a big game like this, the first thing from a coaching standpoint, you like to find out, are we really good enough to play with these guys? And I think after the first quarter, we got some confidence from that. We certainly did, and it carried over the whole football game. And we'll be back with the second quarter right after. 3-0. We'll pick up action now at the start of the second quarter with White over left guard for 9 yards on the play. 1st and 10 for Michigan, now it's 41. They run a draw, then they come back with a trap. And it's a thing they like to do against an even defense, which we've played quite a bit. Holmes and Mammer on that tackle. Come back with a draw. Their off-tackle play in our draw is similar backfield action. Kurkowski and Mammer make that tackle. 3rd and 2 at the 49. Perryman dives over the middle and picks up the 1st down. So 1st and 10 now at the Washington 49, and the Wolverines begin to move it a little better than they have before. Great play. Good play there by Steve Albert. Came off a good block, got got 3 in the backfield, and it's a delayed play. Steve's back there and gets tackled for loss.
Oh, that big sophomore out of Bellingham. He's got great size.
He played well, and this again, he had a test last week, but this was the first real test. You know, the kind of offense they ran.
2nd and 11, midfield.
Probably one of our biggest problems all day long was the containment of Harbaugh, and there's 10 people, so you know, supported pretty well.
Harbaugh saw him coming and just ducked down. You'll see the play again. You see, he had problems with this.
Well, we just, you know, there's Reggie now. He didn't keep the outside leverage.
Inexperience on his part?
Yeah, you know, he thinks he's a good enough athlete, and you underestimate the guy the building. And we're going to have one this week that's going to be a lot quicker than Harbaugh. So you just got to give yourself more outside leverage. You have to break down, control yourself a little bit more. You can't leave your feet. But we let him outside, probably 4 or 5 times all day. Now, we come back with a great play here. I believe it's Meamber that gets involved in this fumble. But Jimmy Rogers recovers it.
White's diving. There's the ball loose.
Probably Ronnie Holmes had a little bit to do with it, too.
I think he did, too. Rogers, number 39, recovers the football. Washington stops the drive. Takes over 1st and 10 now at the Washington 35.
Good first down play. This is the off tackle. That's all there is to it. Christy Jackson right behind our right side. Dennis Soldat's in there, tackle now.
That's Rick Benny for 3. So 3rd and 2 now at the 43. Millen rolling out, and he's going to keep and just come up short of the first down mark.
He thought he could get it running, and probably with a little more experience, he might give that a little more time. It's just you know, you can't call a timeout and have a meeting. You've got to make the decision. And
no question about you're going to kick the ball here 4th and 1.
Yeah. We've got to just make them drive long ways, and the way our defense is playing, especially right now.
So Michigan has it 1st and 10 now at their own 29. Washington leading 3-0. 2nd quarter, Ann Arbor yesterday.
Good hit by Tim Peoples again. Tim Amber's there, Ronnie Miles. But you can see back to that punt. That was the one problem we had on our kicking game all day long. We've got to get better on punt coverage. Now there we come in with Reggie inside again, and Harbaugh just jumps outside of him. And so their 3 big gains on this drive, which nets the field goal, is you know, 2 scrambles. All we got to do is keep them boxed in. We got everybody covered, and then a 15-yard penalty. Which this is the 2nd scramble. Now here comes the penalty.
And you're going to see the hit, right?
Late hit. And it's not a flagrant violation. The only thing you can do is, you know, maybe Jimmy, when he recognizes the contact, he's definitely out. He's just got to pull off a little bit.
So 1st and 10 at the Washington 39. That's White for 4 yards.
Holmes
2nd and 6.
And repeat the play again, and that's a real good tackle by Tim Amber. It's Small and Oliver are in on the play.
Now, at times you had me to 3 inside linebackers and only 2 down linemen in there.
Yeah, we had a 4-man front scheme with actually playing 5 linebackers. Phil Kelly is a little bit upset that he missed that pass. He had both hands on it, but he'll get his chance here in a little bit.
Yes, he will. Great play. This field goal you're not going to believe. That was a 52-yard field goal, and it's like 3-iron shot. You raise one hand anywhere, and you can block it.
It's either a skull wedge or a sank or something. I don't know what it was. It wasn't very pretty, but it's still 3 points.
It did. It set a record for the Wolverines. That's the longest field goal in their history.
This is a kickoff return again. Our wedge, it was a short kick, and our wedge was set up a little too deep. We didn't give our kick returner much of a chance.
So Huskies 1st and 10 now at the Washington 23. And Jock Robinson in the ball game for the first time. Picks up 3.
3 yards. Now we'll come back with the bootleg again.
2nd and 7.
The fullback slip out in the flat. That's Walt Hunt. Get tough running. You get that extra yard.
I think your fullback had 5 catches during the ball game.
I think between
3 and 2, yeah. And what a difference. You can get that guy out there.
Yeah, especially if you can get the ball and turn upfield, get his shoulders square upfield. A lot of times they catch that when teams play it well, they'll catch it, they'll be running towards the sideline. It's hard to get any additional yards.
Robinson up the middle for 3 on 1st and 10 at the 35. 2nd and 7 now. And you called on Walt Hunt, the big fullback. Straight ahead, pounds his way.
Fullback dive play and just base blocking, but he cuts it back. Michigan had a defense where they brought their weak linebacker and played him strong. They really expected us to go strong a lot. This was probably the poorest pass that he threw all day. It was a little behind Mark Patterson.
So 4th and 3, and Cleland to punt it away. And 41-yard kick and a 12-yard return, as you will see.
Again.
And he...
not good coverage.
No, he broke to the outside. If he gets away, he's liable to go all the way.
Well, that's close. That's the problem. If you defeat that first wave, this defense comes right back. Reggie Rogers makes a good play here. This is their off-tackle play, and he just rips the tight end's block.
And you see Reggie come up on the left of your screen. There he is. He does, and he's so big at 6'7".
Yeah, he's got a big wingspan, too. He can cover a lot of ground, and Ronnie Holmes is upfield, too.
2nd and 12 now at the 27. Harbaugh back to throw, and here comes Reggie. Almost got him. He threw the ball away.
Yeah, he threw that one
too clear over
out
your
of
bench.
bounds. Yeah, he's just trying to unload it, save it, protect the loss.
3rd and 12 at the 27. Harbaugh down the middle, and Joe Kelly gets his interception now.
Yeah, we fumbled the ball, too. Joe makes a good play and then makes a bad one, but fortunately, we've got a lot of guys around it, and we did get it recovered. But it's a good break on the ball, good catch. We got 2 linebackers could have intercepted it. Got to believe that Harbaugh just misread coverage.
Well, he had to, and that, but he threw right into them. Now the ball's loose. He's going to get it back. So Joe Kelly with the interception. Washington with the football. 1st and 10 now to 25.
Excellent break for us and an excellent first down play at 6 yards. Gogan, Crow, and Ernest is good block. We've got a replay of it. You see there's a little running room in there.
And Jock's big. I mean, he's got good size.
If you try to arm tackle him, he's got that ability and strength to break the tackle.
2nd and 4 at the 19. Robinson running to the outside. They play it pretty well. He got 5.
Yeah, again, like I say, that's the thing that we want to do. There was a play that didn't look like there was anything there, but he made 5, and that's what we're trying to get our backs to really concentrate on it. There again, work upfield. When there's nothing there, he still picked up 4.
So 2nd and 6 now at the Michigan 10 for the Huskies. You come right back to Jock Robinson again. 4 plays in a row. This time only 2.
Rod Jones had a good block. Interior, they're blocking the right guys. And
3rd and 4.
Pass protection was much better than last week.
To Rod Jones, and that was a great play.
Again, a tough play for Rod. He caught the ball close to the boundary. He had to try and put on the brakes, concentrate on the ball, put on the brakes, and get up to that yard marker. That orange tape really helps players. They can see that.
Oh, that was close, depending on where they marked the ball. 1st and goal. Fenney at the center. He picks up 2.
Ernest and Crow, good job. Crow was on a trap. We trapped there at a goal line, even defense. And again, this is a very good job by Rick Fenney. It's just a fullback interior play. They really came out low, and our guys kind of smothered them, and the power of the size of Rick Fenney helped.
Jaeger's going to add the extra point, and at halftime, Washington leads Michigan by a score of 10-3. Now you walk down that tunnel and you go through there, and what were your feelings now? You lead 10-3, and knowing really that you had dominated Michigan most of that first half.
Well, again, I think you get a lot of confidence from the fact that we've played well against them, and we've not turned the ball over. We've got one major problem that we've got to try and correct, and that's the punt coverage. But by and large, the rest of the guys are doing a pretty good job, and it's just a matter of trying to give them some slight adjustments, help them out a little bit, and recognize that we have 30 more minutes of a dogfight.
Did it surprise you at all your team really played that well against Michigan? Because this is the #2 ranked team in the country. And
you never know. It's really hard to predict from one week to the next how you're going to play. I think we've got some confidence now within ourselves, and I think that first half right there really helped us.
Oh, it certainly did. We'll be back with our halftime feature right after this. Just a moment, but first, here's Rick Meters' halftime feature. Rick?
Ron Holmes had a rough start this season. Instead of taking the field for 2-a-days, he found himself in the hospital with a blood sugar problem. He lost a lot of weight. He lacked the energy to play football. We're happy to report now that problem is under control. His weight's back up to a pretty solid 250, and he's looking forward to a stellar senior season. Ron Holmes has been a fixture in the defensive front for 2 seasons now, one of only 2 sophomores to start on a veteran team in '82. He was 2nd in sacks that season, led the defense last year. 21 times he tackled opposing ball carriers behind the line. Ron Holmes came to Washington after an outstanding prep career at Timberline High in Lacey. An injury cut short his senior season, but he'd already drawn the attention of college recruiters up and down the coast. He also played center on Timberline's state championship basketball team, so he faced a difficult decision about his athletic future.
It was a tough choice as long as I was dreaming. I mean, and then when I woke up one morning and looked in the mirror and saw I was only 6'4", you know, your dream can't go too much farther, especially when you can't dribble with basketball and you're not a guard. But it was something that I had to get used to and learn to live with, that I couldn't do it. You know, like my life was in football, my career. I found my life really football-oriented. I like watching videos of old games that came on TV that I videotaped or something. And I read a lot of magazines about other teams to find out who I'm playing against and everything. And I just always been a film watcher, so I like watching films even during my off-season. You know, give me that little bit of edge.
Holmes also spends a lot of time looking at film of last week's game and next week's opponent. It's an important part of his preparation and sometimes a real source of satisfaction.
I think the biggest reward for me is being able to, sit down on Sunday in a film session, look at my grade sheet, and look at the guy I played against, and say to myself, I played the best I could against him, and I did this, and I'm happy. Because not every day you're going to be able to say that. Some Sundays you're going to have to sit down and say, hey, I got dragged up and down the field, but you don't want to say that. So as long as you try hard, be happy with it.
The game Ron Holmes was happiest with was last year against USC. Small wonder he had 16 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 fumble recoveries in a 24-0 shutout of the Trojans.
That game was just like it was meant to be. It was like I was in the right place at the right time, every time almost. And my concentration level was really high for that game. I was aware of everything that was happening before the game. And that was a scary feeling, I tell you. Scary feeling to know that you're aware of everything, little thing that happens toward the game. Your head is always turning, So, and I don't know, it's just meant to be, I guess.
Ron Holmes was Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Week for his efforts against the Trojans, first team all Pac-10 for the season. But he was disappointed the Huskies didn't win the conference crown. He hopes that will change this year.
I think we have the potential. We got a lot of great players. So I would like to see us, get back to where we should be at and win the conference. And I think we could do that. But for myself, I would like to just be a leader. And we have a young defensive line. And with me on it, the only returner, I would like to be a leader and show a lot of good characteristics for the other guys to follow. I would like to be able to sit back and after this is all over with in college and smile about it and say that it was something pleasant. And I made the right choice, and that's where I think I'm headed right now.
Oh, Ronnie Holmes. Oh, what a young man and what a football player he is. And it's great to have somebody like that in your defensive line, isn't it?
We'd be in trouble if we didn't. With those 2 other rookies in there, he gives us the only experienced defensive lineman.
Now, we talked about your defensive scheme during the first half, and we were talking about the fact that you took Albert out and you had the 2 defensive tackles, 2 outside linebackers up on the line, and 3 inside linebackers, playing in tight. Was that to stop the run? What was the reasoning for that, and why?
Well, our normal scheme of 5 basic front people and 2 linebackers, we had that ready, and that would leave us with Albert playing in the general area of the offensive center. Then we went in with a 4-man front where we had put in 3 linebackers, and we would put a linebacker over the center and over both tackles. And that was, it's kind of a passing-looking defense, but it was really designed, we thought, to help stop their run. We put Holmes and Lewis, 2 big tackles over their guards, and that stops all that pulling stuff. And sure, you can trap it, but there's a lot of things in there you can't do quite as well when we cover up the guards. So then we'd play the 4-man front with 3 linebackers, put the linebackers over the tackles, and then put Joe Kelly out and cover the flat.
It worked well, didn't it?
Well, it was a change-up. They couldn't read one scheme from that basic defensive alignment of players.
I think a lot of people sit around sometimes and wonder what coaches do when they look at all those X's and O's and look at all that film, but that's what you come up with.
Well, that's our job, and we, as the players, spend a lot of time in meetings and film, so that's our job too. And we'll be in there, all Sunday night, Monday night, and Tuesday night. That's
getting ready for Houston, right?
Yes.
But a second half against Michigan to go, and we'll be back with the second half kickoff right after. And to start the second half in Ann Arbor yesterday afternoon, with Washington now leading by a score of 10-3. And Michigan coming into the wind here to start the second half.
Our kick coverage was a lot better than last week, as everybody can see. And Jeff Jaeger did a good job. We put him in the middle with the wind and let him kick into the corner. And
yes, he really did.
He did an excellent job.
Now, did Michigan make any adjustments? I guess we always ask you this to start that.
Oh, yeah. They're going to do some subtle things again and get, they'll limit their offense, go to both plays. This was one of the things, try to get a little counter pass. We had difficulty in getting contained. And this would be a bootleg again. We got nobody up in his face.
Yeah, Harbaugh rolling out to the, that's good for 9 yards.
And Bean's a good receiver, and he planted himself right on the boundary.
That's first and 10 at the 28. White gets 6.
It's a good run by White. He's a tough runner. People's made tackle along with Namber.
And as you mentioned a moment ago when we were talking, they had to get something during the break that they need to get something on the board right now. Get the momentum changed in this game, because it was all Washington.
We got a break there. We got a penalty, so it sets up the 2nd and 9, but we let them get off the hook. But Tim Peoples made a tackle there that was about it.
He stopped him cold.
Umpire Pickens got knocked down.
Yes, he did. 3rd and 2 at the 36.
Well, they had us here. They fooled us, and we fell asleep back there in the secondary, and could have, I don't think they would have scored, but I think they could have had a 15, 20-yard game. So we got off the hook there on a play-action pass.
So Robbins going to punt the ball to Green, and Danny's going to let the thing bounce and then finally pick it up, but boy, there's no place to go.
No, it's another short punt. It'd be nice if we could get up there and we could have fielded all those. The punting average has probably been about 30 yards.
Jackson for only 1. Emerstein on the tackle for Michigan. 2nd and 9 now at the 25.
We ran a couple plays in here, and Michigan's very solid. We only pick up 3 yards with 2 running plays. And so we go with a kind of an intermediate pass where we run Patterson off through the deep zone. Then we have Danny Green's planted over there. You can see him right there. He's kind of open, but Mark Patterson just ran right by the secondary, and this was just a great lift for us. There's no question about it. It put so much pressure on the opponents now. We've got another look at this. I think another key player to this play right here was Cookie Jackson picks up 2 blitzing linebackers. See, they both went down. They're right at Hugh Millen's feet.
And the pass really was the Green on the far side of it.
He was the number 1 receiver, and Mark would be a secondary receiver. Mark's job on this pass is to clear the zone, get everybody deep, and but he did that, and he just kept on running by them. They were sort of squatting on us, and our receivers kept saying that. We run deep routes, and they don't respect us.
Well, one thing, too, is Millen stood in there.
Yeah, he took a heck of a hit, too. And there was a blitz, too. And a lot of times quarterbacks get a little jumpy when they know the blitz is coming.
Yeah, Jeff Jager's going to kick this one into the end zone. Now, perfect example there. Kicks it into the end zone, ball comes back to the 20.
Sure, what he said. And it was a deep kick in the end zone, so there's no percentage for them to do. Now, there's an excellent play by Tim Meander. Morris really paid a price for that 4-yard gain, I'll assure you.
Watch this hit. Bang.
And Tim just played well. He dropped back to 10 yards, read the pattern, and reacted up on a short pass.
2nd and 6 at the 24. Morris on a delay.
Good little run. He didn't sweat. He got hit on the last play, but he got back at us this play. 16-yard gain.
What's he, only 5'7", 170 pounds? He's the biggest guy.
But he's quick.
Yes, he is.
We miss him right here. And then now Tim Peoples missed him, and J.C. Pearson gets him, as well as Tony Lewis.
Good for 16 yards. 1st and 10 now at the 40.
Field position game right there. That's the thing. Boy, you got them backed up now. All of a sudden, they're back out, where they can run the whole offense. There's Joe Krakowski making a play on the sweep.
2nd and 4 at the 46. They bring White again, this time over the right side. You cover that a little better, gets only 2.
2 yards, yeah. Meander made the play.
So 3rd and 2 at the 48. Now, obviously, this is the time Michigan has to get something going, or they're going to be completely out of the ballgame as they were. 9 yards.
Another good, well-blocked play. And when you see cornerbacks and weak safeties making tackles, you know they're moving the ball a little bit.
1st and 10. Now at the Washington 43. Harbaugh to throw and underthrows his intended receiver.
This helped us. This got them in the 2nd long, and that's where you play a team like Michigan, you'll love to get them there. At least gives you a chance. Now you can put the dogs on, and we got a little X down on the left. We bring Freddie Small underneath it, so he gets a sack, and that's just that's a big play. You buy back 9 yards.
Now 5 is so quick. That's Freddie Small. They made that adjustment and then came back and got him.
So that sets up now 3rd and 19, and it's just a lot tougher now.
Yeah, now you can play that pass. Now they had someone there.
Yeah, they would not have gained 19 yards. And we had pretty well surrounded. We were in the zone, so we had people in front of him and behind him.
And Robbins to kick it on 4th and 19 at the 48, and this ball again will just bounce. Now, they grab the ball and run it into the end zone.
Well, yeah, they have to have possession. They can run it in, but they have to have possession first in the field of play, and that's what they finally rule. That's a very close play. Again, we've got to catch those. We can't expect that ball to roll. It's going to roll 30 yards, but we can't expect to come out that much. Now, here we blew a check off and had miscommunications between our tailback and quarterback, and that was critical. That was probably the largest offensive mistake of the day, and we didn't turn the ball over. Very fortunate.
And you got away with it.
Got away with it. Jock got back out there. They've got it recovered.
So it brings up 3rd and 13 now at the 17. And Jock Robinson for 6.
Yeah, again, it takes you out of an opportunity, a good opportunity to make the first down. We pick up 6. We get some of it back, but we dug ourselves a hole.
A low end-over-end kick by Gant. Now watch what happens here. This ball's knocked loose.
This equalized the bad punt coverage. I think this kind of negates their yards. We get a great turnover, so and we're going to kick the field goal. It's going to put the game probably out of reach.
Now keep just an eye on the ball. See if you can see the ball come loose here. It's kind of hard to see what happened in football.
It is really hard to see. Finney's involved in the fumble recovery, and David Toy and Mo Hill right there were involved in the tackle.
So 1st and 10 for Washington now at the Michigan 49. And you can go for everything.
Yeah, this is a sudden change, and every now and then you try those things. I'll tell you what it does. It tends, again, to keep people off of you, and it also, Houston look at the film, and maybe they won't crowd us quite as much because of Patterson's completion in this play right here.
That was close to pass interference.
Yeah, but I don't like seeing called there.
In that situation. Yeah. Robinson for only 1 to the left side. 3rd and 9. Millen.
Well, we're back to our bootleg play, and it's wide open again. That's
12 yards in the first down.
Game.
Boy, I'll tell you, that stadium was quiet, wasn't it? You see this again? 103,000 people sitting on their hands.
Not a lot to cheer about.
No, there wasn't. No, there wasn't much to cheer about. 1st and 10 at the 36. Jock Robinson. And he's going to try to run it outside and lose his 3.
Yeah, we don't like this. Again, this is the thing we're trying to prevent this year. We're almost in field goal range. We probably are in it with the win we've got, and we just don't want to take it back. We just
2nd and 13.
Point of attack, get what you can. We're fortunate here that Tony Roten's in there, gets his catch for 11 yards. That's a pretty good game again. It gets us down to 3 and 2 at least, but good catch by Tony. And I was really surprised because we knew in the game plan that on 2nd down long they'll blitz and play zones underneath, which leaves a lot of holes back there. And we hit them on 2 or 3 patterns.
Yeah, you really did. Robinson for 3 for the first down. You needed 2. 1st and 10 at the 25. Keep the drive alive.
We run a cross sweep here for -1, and that's just well played by Michigan. I don't think Jock had a chance there.
Rick Fenny kind of spins his way up the middle, picks up 3. 3rd and 8 now at the 23. Now you're just trying to get into a position really to kick the field goal.
Yeah, the thing we don't want to do is get too exotic. We don't. A 7 would be great, but with a 17-point or 14-point lead and 3 more, that just makes Michigan score 3 times, and we had to have that 3 at least.
So Jaeger kicks the field goal, and it's 20-3. Washington over Michigan, and you got 3 points you wanted. And right now, that, as you had mentioned, that takes 3 touchdowns to beat you.
Yeah, we're in good shape. And it restricts their offense now. They've really got it's a draw and screen and pass offense now.
So as we mentioned, that quiets down that crowd in a hurry back there. You've been in that stadium before. You know what it's like. Must have been fun for you to go back there after being an assistant there in the 60s.
Oh, it was. We have still some old friends, neighborhood friends left around Ann Arbor, and a lot of family 2 or 3 hours away that came up. So, and plus Michigan's just got a great stadium. It's
it really is.
If you're involved in college football, that's a place that you enjoy playing.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be back with the 4th quarter right after this.
The world is looking for a standard it can trust. More stable than gold, as strong as the dollar. Value. This is today's standard of value. Honda, holding its value year after year after year. Value in mileage, value in quality, affordable. The world standard for today is value, and that value is Honda. At your Puget Sound Honda dealer.
So you lost your temper, and the squabble got a little out of hand. A shove and a slap. Some words you really didn't mean to say. And now you are in jail, with both of you wondering what went wrong. Our new domestic violence law means mandatory arrests, and if the officer can't tell who hit whom, you might both end up behind bars. The new law, essential protection or a clog in the...
Here, this is a -1 on the draw play. Lewis, Meammer, and Kelly also in it.
3rd and 21 at the 21. How about back to throw? And over the middle, and they finally complete something over the middle, and it's good for 21.
Now, this is a very critical error on our part. We're playing 4 short zones, and the guy playing this zone out here in the flat goes back and plays a deep third. He's running after the receiver way downfield. And so, sure, give him the 10-yard completion. That's all it should have been.
Yeah, just 10 and get him right there.
So that's one that we'll have to critique. We just can't let people off the hook like that.
Rogers for 5.
A draw, and Tim Peoples lays a good hit on him again.
Rogers, that's his first time in the ballgame. When Rogers came into the ballgame in the second half and played, he was scholastically ineligible.
Good play by Jimmy Rogers here. Speaking of Rogers, got a great interception. He had double coverage, and he played the ball very well. Went up and made it.
J.C. Pearson was right there. Big interception for Washington. So the Huskies have the ball back. 1st and 10 now at their own 34 with 12:49 to go. In a situation like this, you just begin to pound it out.
Yeah, we would like to be able to run for a couple of first downs and run 4 or 5 minutes off the clock, but we're not able to do it. Michigan does a good job, and we're not going to get exotic. We're not going to take a chance giving them the ball down here. We're going to get what we can and kick it away. So 3 relatively safe plays. That's a draw for only 1 yard.
So 4th and 5.
4th and 5.
And just kick it away and to see if you...
Kane Cleveland probably kicks a couple of the best punts of his career. He got excellent hang time. There was a 42-yarder, and they could not get a big play out of the punt return, and that's also important.
And into a good win, too.
Yes.
That was a good breeze. Harbaugh.
Just an excellent hit by Jimmy Rogers. It was close to being a fumble.
It certainly was.
I think probably Nelson was down, but it was a very good hit by Jim Rogers.
2nd and 1 at the 31.
No place to go there.
Oh, nothing.
Very well played. Holmes, Lewis, Albert, and half a dozen other guys.
They all get it. 3rd and 1 now at the 31. Dive over the center by Garrett for 6 and a first down. So 1st and 10 now for Michigan at their own 37. But all the time, that clock's ticking away.
Yeah, as long as they run, they're just keeping the clock.
This is one of the funniest plays you'll ever see, and I don't know.
Tony Lewis hit it.
Let's
It's
see
scary.
the sideline.
It's scary. Whenever the quarterback can get that ball, you don't know. It seems like sometimes your defense disintegrates when this happens.
Right back to Harbaugh, right?
Fortunately, only got about 4 yards in this play. But again, it kept the clock alive, so we were still okay.
And they up the press box. They would say, well, how do you say that? I mean, Harbaugh to Harbaugh, is that what you're saying?
They had some other brothers in the team, but he doesn't have one.
No, he doesn't. Harbaugh throws it away. 3rd and 6 now at the 41.
Quarterback draw, and it's a good call. We were in man coverage with our linebackers, so they're chasing the running backs out of there, and kind of opens up that middle.
So 1st and 10 now. Well, we'll see it again.
Yeah, Jimmy Rogers makes the tackle. You see, it's a draw all the way.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you've run this play before.
Yeah, we've had it in. We've had a run against it before, too.
Rogers goes over the top as Harbaugh goes down. Gets first down. 1st and 10 midfield. Harbaugh almost hit from behind.
Got a little heat on him. Their wide receiver just fell down. The fans booed, but I don't know. I guess they were booing the officials for not calling the pass interference, but there was absolutely no contact.
Harbaugh looking again, throws to the outside to Bean. It's good for 20. He's alone over there.
Yeah, our underneath drops were, they're putting a short receiver at 5 yards depth in front of them, so our underneath guy is up there playing the short guy, and now they got a player at 16 yards right behind us, and we've got to stay back. We've got to stay back 10, 12 yards. React on the short ones, but don't give them the deep ones.
Intended for Nelson, incomplete, and a good rush. 2nd and 10 at the Washington 30. Harbaugh throwing.
Very well played by
Bessie
Jackson. He was right on his man. It was man coverage, and he nearly made an interception.
3rd and 10 at the 30. Harbaugh again to throw. And that's all they can do right now.
Excellent play by Jimmy Rogers, and almost got a pick there. He had both hands on it. He had laid out, but just, again, couldn't hang on to the football.
So 4th and 10 at the 30, and obviously they're going to go for it. Harbaugh's going to be run out of the pocket, and he runs all over the field.
And we lose contain again. This is another one of those cases where we've got 4 people rushing. We've got to contain him, but fortunately here, it's 4th down. He does not get the first down. So
and he needed what 10.
Our players handled us well back. We stayed in our zones this time. Where a while ago they completed a pass and ran for another 10. We're staying in our zones. They recognize if you stay at 10 yards depth, you know where the line of scrimmage is. If you start getting deeper than that, then you lose track. Now he's crossed line of scrimmage. Now Bill Kelly come up and
now you can just say, okay, you're free game now. We'll go get you. 1st and 10 now at the Washington 23 for the Huskies. 7:18 to go, and Jock Robinson for 8.
Very good first down play, and this could have been a good drive, but we helped stop ourselves with 2 penalties here. It really hurt us. But we had good first down play. We got an excellent dive play there for 3 yards to get the first.
And then you get an illegal procedure call.
We got one of our linemen jump.
They come back on 1st and 15 at the 29, and Finney goes.
And he gets 6, so he gets another good game. By stopping that clock, those penalties, we're just not taking much off.
Jock Robinson
for 4.
How you tell your running backs now? You've got to put the ball away. Is that what you're saying?
Lock it up.
I mean, don't try to go out and run 90 yards for a touchdown. Another penalty there for delay of game in this situation.
And that really hurt us. The whole first quarter, we had a lot of problems with the clock. We were just getting down to 0, 1, or 2 on every snap. And
why is that your problem or just not
getting our problem? We tried to get the referee to slow down his commencing of the clock. But there's a 45-yard punt by Cleveland, an excellent punt. Lost 2 on return, tackled by Troy.
So 1st and 10 for Michigan now. Back to 17. Harbaugh throwing incomplete. And again, good rush.
Good rush. He got hit again. He took some good shots.
Yeah. 2nd and 10 at the 17. Harbaugh.
Yeah, that's the bootleg that they ran on us now. We're really asleep. We're just our position. Fortunately, that Bean was out of bounds, so it gives us another chance. Third down 10, but they're going to pick up 13.
How about stands in again?
Scrambles, we lose contain. Now, that's, if you're counting, that's another one.
Uh-huh.
The coverage really has a difficult time when the quarterback gets out of contain.
Ooh, that's a hit. your people, let them remember you hit pretty good.
Yeah, that was Tim Peoples again, and you know, they came to play as
long
used to say.
That's right. Incomplete, intended for Jackson. 2nd and 10 at the Michigan 30.
That was broken up by Bessie Jackson. They were trying to get deep and get a big play.
Run the draw here, thinking that you're going to play pass all the way.
And we didn't make the tackle. Fortunately, he had a little running room.
3rd and 9 at the 31, and we'll close it out here with this interception.
Well, they completed that deep intermediate out on the boundary, and Ronnie Miles got back in his zone and read that. Saw the wide receiver just camp right there. You'd see him camp on the boundary. And I just came back and made a great play. You see him he took off, dove.
Oh, he did.
Just made an excellent catch.
Okay, now, you can't move it offensively. Put your twos in. They drive it down the field. 2 seconds to go. Score a touchdown, and you finally win it by a score of 20-11. Into the ball game. A lot of people wondered 7 seconds to go. You know, that you had the football here, and the official stopped the clock. And he didn't start it until they were ready to go. Now, what happened?
Well, the referee has in fact, they're sort of obligated. We have a waste time plan and a save time plan. Well, we were obviously in a waste time plan, so we're going to lay on the ball carrier. We're going to be slow getting up, slow getting back, and so they referee just felt like we were delaying the game. They don't penalize if they do stop the clock, and I didn't agree to that. I didn't disagree. I think what he might have done is crank the clock up a little quicker than he did, but they still would have gotten a playoff.
They did. They scored in the play, added 2, but you win it by a score of 20-11. We'll go to the Husky locker room right after the football game. We go in the locker room, talk to the players, and this is what the Huskies had to say about the win over Michigan. Listen.
Hey, we was pretty high, we was pretty fired up for the game. We was real high, we concentrated, our preparation was good. We worked hard in practice, and it paid off.
Game plan going in. What did you figure you had to do other than just attack? Just come after them?
Just come after them, attack the line of scrimmage, regain the line of scrimmage, and just stop their run. We stopped their run, they got a pass, and that's not their game, so we did it.
Has to be as exciting a win as you've ever been a part of, isn't it?
Most exciting game of my life.
It was never perfect out there, but gosh, we worked hard. We got after it, and that's what you really look for in an offense. And I think we came of age a little bit today, and it's going to be exciting to get after Houston next week.
What a touchdown. What a catch you came up with. And what was the play there, and what happened on that play?
Well, actually, the play was supposed to go to Danny Green, but because they were in man-to-man coverage, and we didn't want to go chop all day, he just dropped back and launched this big bomb, and I just happened to be open, and he threw a great pass, and play was there and scored a touchdown.
Offense really played much better this week.
Yeah, I think things really came together. I think there was all the uncertainties that we had last week really got ironed out.
I think we pretty much had an idea they were just going to come and run at us between the 2 tackles and load up their guns and see who the stronger team was. And we came out and we threw a couple crashes and blitzes on them, just stuck in there, and things turned out our way, fortunately.
Some kind of win, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was super.
It's the biggest crowd I ever played in front of, and it's just great to hear this quiet down all those fans. But we showed them a little different look. We've been kind of saving, and we didn't show it last week. We gave them a look where we have Joe Kelly and Joe Kurkowski and I all play on the inside, and put Holmes and Allboard and T. Lewis down, or Fred Small or Reggie, and just go at them with a 4-man rush and 3 inside linebackers and dare them to do anything they want.
I thought we played great. Offense didn't have any turnovers, and we had 3 or 4, against them, and I thought we played real well, and we took it to them and played as hard as we could.
I'm loosening up more and more, and that's what the non-conference season's for. So, we always look as quarterbacks to get in a groove, and, we're starting to hit that, so I feel good that way.
Thrill for you today. Were you a little tense out there to start with? You're just very confident.
No, I really did have confidence. I came out of the tunnel from pre-games, and I was just, I kind of gritted my teeth, and I just said, hey, I'm going to go out against Michigan, because I know one thing: there wasn't anybody in the whole stadium, the whole, national TV that wanted to win the game more than me. And if you don't think that, you can sit down over a cup of coffee, and I'll tell you what I've done to get here. So yeah, it was really nice.
And what a big day for Hugh Millen, because if you haven't heard, his father graduated from Michigan, used to take him to the games, I guess, when he was just a youngster. So big day for him to come back in a Washington uniform, being a Michigan fan when he was young, and lead his team to victory over the Wolverines by a score of 20-11. And that really had to be a thrill for him, wasn't it?
Well, I think, that helped. But, he could have been from Tallahassee, Florida, and he'd had a great time out there Saturday.
Question now, and I guess we all want to know, how good a football team is this? You know, how do they compare with other teams in the country?
Oh, I think it's really hard to tell. We'll compare scores now all year as Michigan now rolls through the Big Ten and Northwestern does. We'll play Houston next week, and we'll compare our scores with all the Southwest Conference games. But we've got to keep playing. We've got to see if we can if we can hang in there, keep people healthy, if we can continue to get better, and you know, the psychological edge that we had last week, Houston will have this week. So we'll keep learning about ourselves each week.
Is there something that you feel you really have to work on this week now to get ready for Houston? Sure, you're going to work in the veer, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but is there something that you say, well, we're going to have to do better at this? Maybe run the ball a little better?
Well, I think the obvious weakness in the kicking game, the first game, was kickoff and punt coverage, and the kickoff coverage got better. I think the punt coverage got some more work and made some improvement, but I think it's just overall improvement. We've made some mistakes on defense. We've got to contain people better. We've got to stay in zones better. So we're a long way from being a perfect football team. We just won a big game. We've got to take the game, take the film, and learn from it.
You start a season now. Did you feel that you go out and beat a Michigan? Is this team just about where you thought they would be right now, or maybe a little bit better?
Well, I would, we all had hoped that we could go play with Michigan, and we all thought we were good enough to compete with them and beat them. But I'm not sure that anyone thought that it would be quite that 20-3 going into the last minute.
We'll be back, look at the Pac-10 scores, and talk about Houston and trying to stop that veer right after this. Games were played in the Pac-10 yesterday. Some of the scores: Ohio State just clobbers Washington State 44-0. Did that surprise you, Don?
It really did. I thought that the ability of Washington State to throw would give Ohio State some problems.
Stanford over Illinois 34-19. John Pay, boy, I'll tell you, he had a day.
He's a good player, and I really felt like that Stanford sometime early was going to shock somebody, and they've got some players down there, especially in the defensive front, so that's a great win for Elway.
UCLA over Long Beach State 23-17. UCLA, the Bruins, struggle against two mediocre teams here.
And I'm sure they're having a difficult time telling their players that these teams can play, and I think they kicked 9 field goals now in 2 games.
That's right. Oregon over Colorado 27-20. Big win for the Ducks. California defeats Pacific 28-12. Arizona over Oregon State 27-8. Arizona bounced back.
I understand that Oregon State had 3 fumbles in the first quarter.
Did.
So again, you can't go into a big game and turn the ball over like that.
Also in the Pac-10, Arizona State clobbers San Jose State 48-0, and you know the Sun Devils just anxious to get back.
They might have been a little bit mad after that opening loss.
I think they were. Look at the conference schedule for next week. Houston at Washington. Ball State 0-3 at Washington State. Cougars have a good chance to win there. Also in the conference, USC, Arizona State. That's going to be an interesting matchup. USC had the week off. Nebraska and UCLA. Oh, what a game that's going to be, huh?
That'll be on TV, but I think the game of the week in the conference is Arizona State and USC, 2 teams that are in the thick of the race.
Absolutely. Oregon at California, Wyoming at Oregon State, and San Jose State at Stanford, and Arizona at LSU. So those are the games coming up. But the big game here in town, well, that big game is going to be Washington against Houston. How do you stop the veer? I guess that's the big question this week.
I don't know. We haven't done a very good job of it.
I was going to say it.
And this is the master. Bill Yeoman invented the veer. This is his baby, his offense, and he's just had many, many great years with this offense. It's an option attack. He'll fake a dive, and he'll probably read one of our defensive linemen. And if we go in and smother the dive, then he'll pull the ball out and come out and option it, run it or pitch it back to the halfback. So it's one of those offensive plays that make you play the most disciplined defense you can ever play. Because if one player makes a mistake, you only got so many out there, and they're all assigned dive, quarterback, pitch, and you have to have a flawless game plan.
Is it difficult because you don't see it in this conference that often? You see Washington State play a variation of it. But.
Yeah, Washington State would be the team that has run more veer probably than anybody we've seen in years. A few years back we saw a little wishbone, but our league is just not an option league.
How good is Houston in?
Well, they were 4-7 last year. I talked to Bill Yeoman, and everybody in the league thinks they're going to be a lot better this year and very good, but he felt like maybe he was a year away from being able to compete for the championship of the conference, but they'll be a tough opponent for us.
Oh, they certainly will be. Next week, Washington against Houston. Join us for the highlights next Sunday afternoon. For Don James, I'm Bruce King. Good afternoon.